everyone. My name is Chris, and welcome to an exciting episode of Podcast Go. I mean, they're always, exciting, but this one is exciting because that's what we're going to use. Hi, Adnan. How are you doing?
Hi, Chris. Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad.
Very cool.
A
But
little
yeah,
bit of a sore throat, but
what happened?
I
Sorry.
think a little bit of a sore throat, but I think I'll live.
Yeah, sore throat. No, I totally hear you, man. I have sore arms from carrying my baby all week. I was telling Adnan off
And the
cast.
world.
Pretty much, dude. In this household, it pretty much is the world at this point. Yeah, it's. I was telling Adnan, yeah, my baby's become more self-aware, like Skynet. So I've been having to hold him because he's getting bored now. He's like a human, you know. But there's still 13 years until he starts, like, God damn it, Dad, no one understands me. So
And then
when he
25
enters,
is when he starts repaying his debts.
yeah, where he's like, Dad, can I borrow like $200? I kind of have to pay off some credit. And I'm like, God damn it, Jack. Damn it, Jack. But anyway, guys, yeah, welcome to the show. Where this is the second episode we've been doing now, and we're still, I'd say semi-training wheels, I guess. We're still kind of getting the new flow of this show. Like this intro, for example, completely unscripted, in case you haven't noticed. But dude, actually, I saved this for the podcast, but you know what I ended up watching last night? Finally, the new Ghostbusters movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, dude.
Oh, well.
It, you know, I'll say, dude, for what it is, it wasn't that bad. Like,
Yeah.
it definitely, like, there was a lot of jokes that fell very flat. Like, there's actually some jokes in the beginning of the movie that Becca and I would look at each other and we're like, "That's a joke, right?" Because that kind of sucked. Like, we couldn't tell if it was just like silliness or whatever. But no, there's a lot of really great moments in it, and I actually really ended up liking it. And I told Becca that I think the reason why I ended up liking it was it kind of felt like a movie that would have been released last decade in the 2000s, like like something Beck and I would have seen in like theaters, like when we were dating. Like it kind of felt like something like that. But as a Ghostbusters movie, it's pretty fucking terrible. Like it's bad
Yeah.
as the
Well,
continuing
I'd kind of
legacy.
couple that with I'd kind of couple that with low expectations though that you had for it.
Oh yeah,
Um, because if you have low expectations for something that you weren't going to like, and a lot of fan hatred has come onto it,
yeah,
it kind of reverts like where you possibly where it's going to fall in like your good or bad spectrum. So that probably did go into account with it. I don't think it's as bad as people made it out to be. To be honest, I've never seen the first Ghostbusters, and I do need to watch it, but I wasn't really like too much on the band hate wagon. I know a lot of the jokes will fall on deaf ears. Like it's a different kind of acquired taste.
yeah.
Maybe it's just not funny, but at the same time, all the great kind of comedies do come from like really awkward moments, or they do have like just a sense of charm to them.
Yeah. I will say one thing though. The funniest character in that movie was Chris Hemsworth. His character Kevin. He like,
All right.
dude. Oh my God. He was like that guy's comedic timing is brilliant. Like seriously, it's so good. His comedic timing. He could. I think he could do his own comedy. I mean, it was really funny. My favorite line in the movie comes from him. He says he points at an aquarium. And he says, no, what does he say? He points at an aquarium and he says, "An aquarium is a submarine for fish." And I thought that was so awesome. Like an aquarium is a submarine for fish. I don't know. Like Beck and I lost it. We thought that was so funny. Um. Anyway, but yeah, so that was kind of like a little bit of banter Ad and I have. But dude, let's go ahead and jump into our news because we have some pretty tasty bits here to
Hmm.
cover and whatnot. You want to
Let's
take
do
this first
this.
one, dude, or how you want to do this?
You can go for the first one. It's your.
Sweet. Yeah,
Oh,
this is.
you go.
I found this.
I don't
Uh,
want to pronounce Kevin F.
yeah, always trying to stay away from Kevin Feige. We don't even know if that's his fucking name.
Yeah,
Uh,
he's referred to as Kevin F on this podcast. You're not allowed to mention his last name until
um,
until he appears on this podcast and explains what his pronunciation of his last name is. He's referred to as Kevin F.
do you hear that, Kevin F? You have to come here. Do you hear that, Kevin F? Marvel Studios head? We need you to come over here and explain things before we can report your name.
and next week we have Kevin Federline on instead. couldn't get
like,
we couldn't
God
we couldn't
damn
get
it.
we couldn't get that Kevin F, but we got this Kevin F on.
And he explains his theory on how you say his last name. He's like, I think it's Feige. Really? Nah, I don't know. Um, well, anyway, IGN.com is reporting that Kevin F, the Marvel Studios head, uh, basically announced that they want to hire a female director for the upcoming Captain Marvel, which is releasing in 2019. And he basically said why he wanted, a female actor. He said, I do think it will not be a requirement to make a great version of Captain Marvel, but it's something we think is important. With all of our movies, we want them to be different. We want them to find the new voices. I think the fun thing is we're meeting so many great directors that will bring one of them onto Captain Marvel, but we'll have future things to come for the others. And then of having female voices telling the story, because I think the writer is actually a girl as well. He said it's super important. One of the things that's interesting is there's been a lot of versions of Captain Marvel. There's been a lot of stories of Captain Marvel, and we are now sharing all the source material with the writers who are working on it now, with the filmmakers who are meeting with and have been for months. Whether they know a lot about the comics or more likely, the filmmakers we work with don't have to be huge fans. They just have to fall in love with it once they are presented with it. It's amazing to see all the filmmakers read through it and know, oh, a female's writing it now. When Kelly Sue DeConnick started on the books, they took on a new thing, and I think that's why, and I think that's important. So, yeah, pretty cool. And he goes on to talk about other stuff as well, like how they're gonna probably revamp the story because they think it's too similar to Green Lantern's origin. He says like a bunch of other stuff, but um, the reason I wanted to bring this article here was on previous podcasts Adnan and I had done, we would report on how Warner Brothers was doing something similar with Wonder Woman. That
Hmm.
the person that they hired, I forgot her name right now, but the director that they hired to direct Wonder Woman was also a woman. And remember, dude, like they would always be like in every press release, Warner Brothers was like, "Oh yeah, it has to be a female." Female director. It positively Wonder Woman will have a female director, and like we were saying, like is that really like a qualify? Like is that to say men don't get? Because fucking Ghostbusters was directed by Paul Feig, and that was all women. So yeah, and he seemed to understand how women act, I guess, for lack of better term. So I don't know, dude. What's your take on all this? I think it's kind of I don't know why they is this like a politically correct thing you think that these two
No, I
studios are
think
doing?
I wouldn't say it's politically correct. I think it's more the internet makes it politically correct by suggesting that they want to make it politically correct. I mean,
Hmm.
we're not. This is not going to turn into one of those conversations we see in comment sections of these kind of articles, but I do think that there is something about having a female director on kind of like a big project like this because it is a
Hmm.
big female lead
Right.
to be in a film. Captain Marvel is female, right? I'm
Yeah, yeah,
getting
yeah,
this right.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I assume that was it. No, because oh, sorry, I'm thinking Shazam. Completely like this is no wonder they changed the name. Captain Marvel is female, first female lead in the expanded universe. Am I right about that in film?
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
for
yeah,
MCU, I mean, I know Wasp is going to be co-lining Ant-Man and the Wasp, but this will be the first only, female superhero centric film in the
yeah,
MCU.
yeah. That's what. So I understand the expectations behind it, and sometimes a female director writing a female character is better than a male director writing one. Um, it's just one of those where you can relate to someone. I mean, I could probably say I'd write a better male character than a female one. Um, but to be honest, it is one of those as well. It does fall back on the argument where I wouldn't necessarily say that gender is a huge factor in it.
Right.
Um, a male director could potentially or easily do the exact same job as a female one. We're both equals in this kind of world, as I'd like to hope. But I don't think it's a huge issue. I think the problem is it's when it's how it's spun and for them to kind of suggest it and
Hmm.
then media coverage on it. That's the problem.
Yeah. Yeah, I think once it gets out to the public, once it's not in like the closed quarters of the production people, I think that's when all these things start flying about. I don't know, dude. I mean, I guess I'm fine. As long as the director is capable of directing a film, and presents said character in a way that is that caters to its source material, I think it's fine. I see nothing wrong with having anybody direct. I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy was co-written by Nicole Perlman. Why the hell? I mean, like, oh, Star Lord, oh, he's a guy. Like most of the majority of Guardians of the Galaxy team is male, so I didn't feel like, oh God, like a girl wrote it. Like I thought, oh man, she did a great job. She did a great job co-writing it. In fact, if Guardians 2 sucks, we'll know that it sucked because she wasn't in it. She wasn't writing it because it's only being written by the director now. It's not being co-written. But back to Marvel, yeah, dude. I don't know much about. To be honest, I know very little about Captain Marvel. About Carol Danvers, I think that's her real name. Um, I know very little about her, but I think what I do know, I think she's badass, and I hope that translates well into her, whoever they hire to direct. But yeah, just
Hmm.
interesting that they keep doing this. Same thing with Wonder Woman. And we'll see if Wonder Woman sucks, which I hope it doesn't, because that will be fucking, for me, 4 for 4 on having shitty DC extended universe movies. That's a topic for another time. But if that movie sucks, like, that would suck, because then it'd be like, oh man, maybe they should have hired somebody else. They could have been a better person to
Yeah,
direct it. So,
potentially,
yeah.
potentially.
Very weird, yeah. Anyway, you want to move along, dude?
Yep.
Do this
You
next
want me to
one?
take this one?
Yeah, yeah, sure.
It'll probably break your heart that I'm reading it. Um, so this one comes from PSU. Um, and they said that speaking during an interview with Yuga Tech, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard producer Masaki Kawata, I hope that's right,
That's pretty good.
revealed a slew of new details on the much anticipated PlayStation 4 survival horror sequel, including news on a demo update. Chiefly, Kawata-san addressed the topic of online modes for Resident Evil 7, confirming the game will be completely a single-player experience. Not only does this rule out co-op, but there will also be mercenary modes, which has been a staple of the franchise since Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. He said, and I quote, Resident Evil 7 is not supporting any online modes. So, for example, with Resident Evil 5, we focused on cooperative online play, which was well received. But the key concept of Resident Evil 7 is horror. So, from the very beginning, we thought that playing alone will give the best horror experience. End quote. So pleasingly, he did confirm that the demo will be updated again, although we
Yeah.
don't currently know when this will be rolled out. He said, and I quote, we do plan to update the demo on PSN for the players to experience the other aspects of the game. We don't have a fixed date for the release, but it will definitely be rolling out before the game comes out. End quote. Resident Evil 7 is scheduled for release on PS4, PC, and Xbox One on January 24th, 2017.
So
Yeah,
yeah. Very cool. I mean, remember we were speculating, or there has been speculation, and you and I have speculated off cast that there has to be another demo, especially after the demo that just happened.
yeah, I always assumed that the demo was going to be big. They obviously had something big planned for it. It's not just like, a portion of the game where certain features don't work. It has to
Yeah.
kind of like, there will be something about where it leads out. We lead out the house. Maybe that's where you get the first trailer for the game, like, or big trailer for the game.
Yeah.
As soon as you walk out, it turns into a cutscene and then goes straight to a trailer. Um, but yeah, I'm impressed with like a lot of the things. I understand there's no online mode. Maybe it will take away from some people, but it is first person. I feel like that this is a big changing phase for Resident Evil 7 and, well, 7 and just the series in general. I think people will start to realize that this will be a different Resident Evil, and I think you have to have that kind of mentality that it is a different Resident Evil. When you play it, it just feels different, but it's not completely taking away from the series. I mean, like, we haven't even tried the shooting mechanics. It could be very similar to the other games.
Yeah.
Uh, but from what I've played so far in the demo, I liked it. I think it's a very solid, like, if it's not a Resident Evil game, that's a very good PT kind of game,
Yeah.
which I'm also like very much on board with.
No, dude, I see it as well, first of all, I'm totally okay with there not being any online modes and stuff like that, because this feels like something in the vein of PT, Outlast, games like that, where you don't really need online. Like, the whole point of that game is being immersed in the world you are. To me, yeah, RE7 is. I'll put it this way: if Resident Evil 0, 1, 2, 3, and Code Veronica all represent almost like Phase One of Resident Evil, the series, and then 4, 5, and 6, and the two Revelations games is kind of like Phase Two. This is Phase Three. It's a different kind of play style. It's now first person for the first time. Let's not count Resident Evil Survivor. That game sucked. And it's horror based and stuff like that. So yeah, I think it's perfect for it. And again, the demo getting another update. Oh my god, that's gonna be so cool, man. Like I'm crossing my fingers. It's on Halloween because like what a great Halloween
Yeah,
treat would that be,
great,
right? Like
great,
trick or
completely
treat,
agree.
yeah. Like it just be so cool. Like Capcom gives us the best trick or treat, and it's both a trick and a treat.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, so I think it'd be great. But I guess theoretically it could come out anytime before January, so either October, November, or December. My guess,
So
I think it's gonna be this
um,
month. I think.
I agree completely, and I completely forgot about that, and I overlooked it. But thinking about it, Halloween is kind of perfect time,
Yeah.
especially yeah, it kind of goes hand in hand. I don't really need to explain it. Um, but yeah, for the demo update, I do think that'd be good because the second demo update didn't really add much. It opened
No.
up the area, but you just it was that.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for the like a bit of more of a chunk where it really does change things. Like it had a bit more of an impact.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. I think it needs to start kind of connecting a little bit more to what RE7 is going to be about, I think, at this point.
Yeah,
But yeah, dude, I mean, this is fantastic news. I can't wait for the demo to come out and yeah, man. Hopefully I really hope it is on Halloween, so we'll see.
we'll see.
Yeah, that's our that's our go-to phrase. We'll see.